Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we're going to be talking about the vast majority of crypto, specifically why I believe crypto is about to make a lot of people rich very, very soon. Now, we will be addressing the two time frame possibilities here. We will address a Wave 5 impulse, and we will also address the 4-year cycle. But right now, as we look at the overall market of crypto, we are sitting at about roughly a $1.12 trillion market cap. We see Bitcoin trailing around 24.6K, Ethereum nearing 1.7K, and most altcoins are still holding a pretty significant gain on the last 7 days. As you guys do see, double-digit figures plus, which is always very exciting to see. Now, with this in mind, let's take a look at a few statistics. So, the total market cap of crypto. We know that we hit right around $3 trillion for the overall market. Now, if we are following that same pattern run and also taking into accountability diminished gains and diminished returns, we would be expecting anywhere between $10 to $12 trillion to be the topping point in this next run up. Now, I know that a lot of you are probably going to ask me, well, Nick, where do you see this run really starting? Where do you see it ending? All that kind of stuff. Time frame wise, it doesn't really matter, but we will go in depth on that. But if we do follow the same exact pattern, it would take us to about $12.127 trillion for the overall market. Now, you might be thinking, that's pretty crazy. But ultimately, it's not. When we take a look at Bitcoin, first off, going into accountability on diminished returns, you guys do see the 62,806% run from 2011 to 2013, 2014. You also see the run from 2015 to 2017, 2018. You see the difference here, 62.8K to 12.almost 6K. And then from our recent run up, 2.1K. Now, diminished returns following the same exact pattern would take us to about the 1618, which is right around $101,000. This could be anywhere between, we could take a look at like 90K, like 90.5K, which would be a 484% run up, all the way to about like 550%, which again, diminished returns, we always see them fall more and more. This is due to higher price action and also not as deep in terms of drops within the market. But it's mainly because of the higher price targets on Bitcoin. Now, this is just Bitcoin alone. If Bitcoin does hit the 100K area, this would be almost a $2 trillion market cap for Bitcoin alone. This is not even accounting for Ethereum, which if Ethereum is going to follow the same pattern, go to the 1618, which is like the golden fib area. This would be about $7,000, almost $300 Ethereum. This would be an upside of 715%. And also Ethereum is one of those assets that has diminished gains as well. Again, diminished returns is 100% healthy in markets, and it's pretty realistic as well. Now, with this, what would Ethereum's market cap be? Well, let's go to Ethereum. So Ethereum at $7,268. Sorry, let me fix this. So this would be, it looks like this is being annoying, so 1 second. Sometimes this is like a little weird. So this would be an upside of 329% from our current price, but this would be an $875.7 billion market cap. Could it go higher? 100%. If we're talking like the macro fib-based levels, going all the way back to COVID, it could slightly outreach a little bit higher, almost to like $8,000. But it all depends on, the money flow of some of these assets. You could also look at it in, however you want. If you think that $10,000 will happen, then that's totally fine as well. But I think that this is a nice area, to be honest with you guys, and I don't know if $10,000 will morph into reality on this next run up. But this would be a combined total of almost $3 trillion by itself. We could just imagine where some of the altcoins will be. If we're talking about like the top 10, most of them hitting like anywhere between 100 to $250 billion per, then we could start to see a large amount of money pouring in market cap, meaning we could get to that 10 to $12 trillion market cap area. Now, do we need to do this monstrous almost 3x run off of the all-time highs like we did back in 2017 to our recent high up? No. For an example, we can just go up to possibly anywhere between like $5 to $7.5 trillion, which still would be anywhere between, like a 1,000% increase in value from our lows that we've seen in November. But nonetheless, anywhere between like $5 trillion to $10 trillion for the total market cap of crypto is going to be life-changing money once that trickles down into altcoins anyways. And let's talk about why this is a possibility in the short term and even the long term. But I do want to say I do have a few ideas on this. I tweeted out earlier yesterday. I said herd is screaming bull market 2024, 2025. But what if wave 5 top by the end of quarter 3 2023 with recession beginning in quarter 4 or quarter 1 of 2024 would completely counter the Bitcoin halving followers / 4-year cycle believers and also go against the herd completely? What if, right? Because a lot of people are still following, the halving. Everyone has focused on the halving fully. Everyone has said 4-year cycle. Everyone's going to follow that. So how would we, screw over the large majority of individuals? Well, we go against everything that everyone has really kind of pertained to, which is the 4-year cycle run. In my opinion, we don't need to follow the 4-year cycle. We don't need to follow the Bitcoin halving. Is this completely different? It's questionable, right? But we've talked about the wave 5. If the wave 5 does happen, we could see a topping point for Bitcoin by quarter 3 of 2023, aka nearing the end of the summer. If that is the case, we could be seeing anywhere between a new all-time high to $100,000 on Bitcoin by the end of summer. Same with Ethereum. We could see this price action on Ethereum be morphed into reality by the end of the summer. Is this a guarantee? Is it going to 100% happen? Not exactly. We don't know. Anything is possible. This is why I personally am 70-30 in positions. I have 70% positions that I've taken, and I still have 30% of altcoins on the sidelines to buy if we do see even lower price action. Now, if you do follow the 4-year cycle, then yeah, 2024, 2025 would be the time for the topping points for crypto, and later on this year would be the accumulation area for you. But it's all in how you want to perceive things. What I've been personally watching is the dollar. The dollar has always been a big indicator on what's happening, as well as the 10-year treasury bonds. If you guys do want to focus on the 10-year treasury bonds, you guys are more than welcome to. But I've been focused on the dollar more than ever before, because now what we see on the dollar on the monthly, I've been looking at the macro. If you want to look at the 3-day as well, you could see this bearish candle on the 3-day that we recently created on the dollar. Looks pretty rough. Unless we can get a flip of this and flip this area into support, then yeah, I'm going to be pretty bearish on the dollar. Now let's talk about why. So here is the monthly. Do you see something very interesting here? Look at where our candle body is fighting against on the dollar. Is it interesting? Because guess where this is? This is at the resistance area of 2017. Right before we seen something like this that, oh yeah, that's right, it ignited the bull run of 2017, 2018. That means that if we have a similar move on the dollar like this, right, first off, takes us down right into our perfect demand range on the dollar. This would be a total drop from our recent top on the dollar, all the way down 22%. And you might be questioning, like, that's a large drop. But it's right on par with what we've seen in the past. 15% here. We've also seen, a 13.4% drop here. And you got to remember that off of this rally, corrections do happen. And we even see back in 2017, the dollar did have a significant rally to this point. It was up 31.6%. To give you guys a quick insight, off of our low here up to the topping point here, it's up 20, almost 9% run up. So almost right around the same range as 2017, 2018's move on the dollar. So this would be something to watch, because if we are going to see that green indicator on the dollar that we're going to continue to go lower and fight here, then yeah, things are going to look very interesting for the summer into the fall time frame of 2023. Now, what will happen after that? Well, we'll probably go into a recession. Who knows what will happen? Is the Fed going to pivot and push us into a bear market? Anything is possible. But I personally have been watching the dollar, and one thing that I would love for all of you out there to watch is the de-dollarization narrative. Over here, from the 17th, 2 days ago, half the world to dump US dollars in future, causing tsunami of inflation and asset price collapse, paving the way for CBDCs and the Great Reset. And over here, top Indian refiners are using the UAE's currency instead of the US dollar to buy Russian crude, report says. Saudi Arabia says they are now open to the idea of trading in currencies besides the US dollar. Does this spell doom for the greenback? 3 reasons not to worry. Now, Saudi Arabia, if you guys have been paying attention to the channel and watching the channel recently, I've said that the petrodollar deal is a big one. If we lose Saudi Arabia to the BRICS, if they join the BRICS, then the dollar is going to collapse even harder than we most likely anticipated it to. Might even go down below our demand zone here and target anywhere between like 82.5. I mean, this would be a significant drop. But as you guys do see, macro support, it would be testing it, which would be very interesting to see if that is the case. But I want to share with you something that's also very interesting, because if we start to see a de-dollarization globally, and we have something like this, which is macro 2001 all the way to 2008, essentially, this was a 41.63% drop. If we see something like that that has started from where we are at now, a 41.63% drop. Now, I'm not saying that this is guaranteed to happen or anything like that. I'm just kind of giving you guys an insight. The dollar would be coming down to like 67. Now, do I think that this is going to happen 100%? Not really. But I would think that this is something interesting if you guys have been following, like, the 2008 collapse that everyone has been calling for. But I will say, if Saudi Arabia does pull out of the US dollar and they do join the BRICS, I could see something like this, because guess what? Then nothing is backing the US dollar besides just debt. And I don't think that that's a sustainable backing for a currency. But also, we focus on the recession. So as everyone is focused on, prices, and they think that no all-time highs are going to be achieved because the macro looks terrible and this looks bad and that looks bad. Well, here we have from a Bank of America survey, found fund managers now put a 24% probability on recession, down from 77% in November. Prior peaks in recession fears coincided with the start of major bull markets in asset prices. I want you guys to understand that things can move very fast in this market. I'm not saying that we're going to see the wave 5, but if we do, I hope that you've been prepared, because as everyone was calling for more and more lows back here on Bitcoin. All right, let's go back real quick to the 3-day. So here we have Bitcoin. Where is most of the support? Well, it's actually higher. I've always said on this channel, candle wicks are more important, or candle bodies are more important than candle wicks. Sorry. And look at where a lot of these candle bodies actually relied on. We had candle wicks, but for the most part, our support on Bitcoin at 16.2K was the November 2020 low. And we wicked down to it pretty quick, and then we continued to go higher. I'm not saying that there's a ton of support here because there isn't a ton of it, but I'm very interested to see if this area holds or not. But everyone was screaming much, much lower. And could we go lower? Could we fill this gap, right? Could we fill, this gap down here at like 13K or possibly even go down to like 10K? I mean, yeah, it's possible, but I wouldn't be betting on it big. I would not be sitting here 100% out of the market because, again, you missed incredible wealth creation from the November lows to even now alone. So I'm watching Bitcoin closely. Do we have a confirmed breakout yet? No, not yet. So I would not be rushing out to FOMO into anything. I would still be waiting on the sidelines if you are on the sidelines to see a strong pullback on Bitcoin, possibly anywhere between, I would argue like 19.45K, anywhere within that range, to possibly like 20.8K. So anywhere down here, real quick, is a perfect area of demand on Bitcoin to have possibly something like this happen in the short term. So we probably get a nice little retest, possibly even retest the 200 3-day EMA, and then come back down, get that nice test of that area, and then we go on a wave 5 run, and it could move very quick. I want to share with you guys real quick the March of 2020 lows to the high of April of 2021. So in one singular year, Bitcoin did a 1,500, almost a 1,600% run up. From our low back in November, if we do a 1,600% run, which again, it won't be a 1,600% run, but if you want to think that it would do this, then you're looking at like 260K. That's why I think that this 100K target at a 553% run up is not that crazy when you have so much bearish narrative, and everyone's out of the market and everyone thinks that, the worst is yet to happen. It would be an incredible fake out for everyone that has been sitting waiting for lower price action, waiting for 10K, 8K, all that. I think that this is a possibility. I also think that we could see that strong wave 5. But also, on the other hand, could we be waiting until 2024, 2025? Yeah, it's a possibility. But, again, I'm not betting against anything. I'm prepared either way. And with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely like, subscribe, turn notifications on because I'm more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. So it's up to you all. Have a beautiful day, beautiful night, wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.